Hi, and welcome to CryptoBiography. I'm your host, Brandon Starr. This is episode 343 of CryptoBiography, and I'm calling this one Snowy Update. The whole United States and Canada and all that is pretty much in a crazy winter weather thing for the next few days anyway. And we have it here too, even though we're pretty far out. We're near the coast in the Pacific Northwest, but it's been about 20 degrees for more days than, a couple of days, and then it's gotten down to about 14, 15 at night. And it's not going to get above freezing until probably late Wednesday or Thursday. So lots of fun there. I did get some writing done in hopes of getting the regular episode out this week. So I do have some, but it just wasn't enough. And also I need to think about whether I need to do more editing of it and stuff like that. So I decided to do just an update episode today. And there's a couple of things that I always think about when we get the snow here, because we don't get a lot of snow here, but the recent years with the weakening of the Arctic winds that allow the coldness to come down more often than they used to. We're now getting like pretty severe snowstorms about once a year here, and this seems to be the time for it. And because we have to do a lot of things in my house for this, because my wife is an essential worker. She works for the water treatment facilities down in Portland, specifically in the Lake Oswego area, but she works for the city. And obviously you can't just have everyone walk away from the sewer machines for a week, because bad things would happen. So because of that, I had to go get the studded snow tires put on my car. What we do is I have the 4-wheel drive car, so what we do is we put the studded wheels on my car, and then she drives it in whenever it looks like it could snow or it has snowed. And so that's been a distraction. And then we had the Utinacast, and then it started getting cold and snowy. And it doesn't get as cold here as it does around the Great Lakes, where they're experiencing temperatures that are right at zero or even colder. And we did have plenty of wind, though. We've had about 20-mile-an-hour wind almost the entire time. I think it's a little better today, but we had just wicked nasty winds for almost the whole time it's been cold here. So and unfortunately we've got a couple more days of cold, and then it's going to snow on the last day before it gets better. So which means even though the temperature is going to get above freezing probably late Wednesday, like I said, or on Thursday, it's going to take a while to clear the snow, because there's only a little bit of snow right now. Maybe it's hard to say because it's been blowing so hard that it's hard to get a gauge of exactly how much snow we really have gotten. It's probably a couple of inches, something like that. Not a lot. So it's only bad where it's been piling up against, walls or whatever. The garage door refused to come back down because the snow and the ice had blown up against it for so long, and then the garage door was slightly warmer than freezing, because not that we keep the garage heated, it's not, but it was just warm enough that it was providing enough heat to sort of melt the snow. So we ended up getting this crust of ice, and so the garage door refused to go down all the way, so we had to clear out even though there's not a lot of snow on the walkway or anything like that we need to shovel or anything, but right up against the wall right up against the garage door, it had built up, then frozen, then thawed and then refrozen. And so we had to clear all that away so that the door could go down properly. So that was fun. And but overall it's not that bad. But yeah, we're supposed to get 5 or 6 inches on Wednesday, the last day of when it's going to be below freezing, and that's just a question of is it really going to get above freezing, and if so, how fast, and if so, is it going to keep raining, because the rain can sometimes help sort of wash away the snow. But we'll have to see how it goes. And of course, the next few days while it's freezing, I have not one but two different medical appointments to do. One's tomorrow, and it's like right in the morning too, so I have no idea. I may end up like driving there and finding out that they're closed. It's actually possible. I hope not. I think what I'm going to end up doing is probably like trying to call them like right when they open, I think, which is also right when I need to be leaving based on how far away they are. And then if I don't get a hold of them, maybe ask my wife to call them like repeatedly until she gets an answer as to whether they're open or not, and then have her call me in the car, and I'll use my hands-free access to talk to her. So that's one. And then I have my follow-up colonoscopy. So I talked about my colonoscopy last year. I needed to follow up because I had 6 polyps, which is a lot, and a couple of them were pretty large. So they're doing a follow-up. It was supposed to happen shortly after the 1-year mark, which would have been like August. I think it was August of the year before last, 2022. And but we need it. It turns out like that they didn't really. They were supposed to do like a call to set it up with me, but that never happened. So then when I talked with my doctor, then he got a hold of them and then it got straightened out. But then by then they'd already had appointments ahead of time, and so we did that. But then, as it turns out, my appointment was right after I got back from my vacation, and I had COVID, so I couldn't do that one. And of course, they couldn't just set it for the next week because they're always, 2 months busy out. So now it's January, and it's gonna be snowing on Wednesday, which is almost certainly going to be the day which is the day that we're supposed to have it. And how they do it is they give you the date, but they let you know what time it's going to be on Monday. So like tomorrow, I'll find out what the time supposedly is. And when they're calling, I'm definitely going to be asking them, what happens if it's snowing? Are you open? Are you like one of those places that are open 100% and just won't close, and I should make it there no matter what? Or do I need to like contact them ahead of time, or will they contact me if they make a decision on their closing or whatever? So that's going to be fun. I mean, like a colonoscopy isn't enough of a pain in the rump anyway, so to speak. Anyway, so yeah, it's been an interesting week, and I just sort of allowed some of this, like the worry about the doctor's appointments and the dealing with the sort of mostly emotional dealing with the snow, because I mean it was not like I didn't have the time to write. I was still at home. We had power, but I sort of allowed the situation to sort of get to me, and I did do some writing, like I said, but it wasn't enough. Like even last week's episode was relatively short. It's shorter than I liked. Like I know exactly, I have like a guideline of how long I should be writing for to make it a reasonable length episode. And it was a little under that last week. So I didn't want to do that twice in a row, but I didn't know what else to do because I just was not writing very well. So I got some done, but I'm going to have to do some more this week. And hopefully that goes a little better. And it helps, I think, also to talk about this. So, writing is always one of those things that's like when it's flowing really great and whatever, it goes very fast. And then if you're having any troubles with your story, it just grinds down to a very slow crawl. It can be very difficult, no matter whether you're putting hours into it or directly like in front of the keyboard trying to type or not. Anyway, so I think I'll call that good there. Thank you for listening. If you have any comments about this episode, CryptoBiography@gmail.com, or hit us up on Facebook or Twitter or Mastodon. And thanks for listening. Words of Music, copyright 2024. Brandon Starr, all rights reserved. And I don't have to say the characters and events thing because this was just based on my personal life, but you know the rest of it. And thank you for listening.